So maybe you love Chinese takeout, and maybe you've never heard of Mongolian beef. The thing is that you should know. If you don't know, you should find Mongolian beef for sure, because it is probably the best Chinese food takeout that you can get when it comes to an entree here in the United States. And it does not, contrary to popular belief, it does not come from Mongolia. It allegedly comes from Taiwan. So today we're going to be making Mongolian beef. It is one of my favorite recipes when it comes to Chinese takeout. Do not say orange chicken, even though orange chicken is awesome. That's not the one that I'm thinking of today. I'm thinking of Mongolian beef.
Now, I'm pretty sure you've noticed this by now, but my t-shirt was inside out this entire video. And I didn't even realize until I edited it. But hey, I guess it happens to all of us sometimes. Anyways, just so you know how good this recipe is, and I definitely ask you to please stick to the end. Just check this response out at the end.
Fancy shit.
All right, so I've got a pound of thinly sliced flank steak here. You can use whatever kind of beef you want. I recommend flank. And to that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now, after that, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and I'm going to give it a really good mix. And you can leave this in your fridge overnight if you want to. It'll marinate even better. You can do it 2 hours beforehand. Whatever you want to do, it's your recipe. So feel empowered to do so. And then we're going to go ahead and start working with our green onions. So I'm slicing these in a diagonal motion. Notice my cuts aren't like really consistent. That's fine. I don't really mind it for this recipe, but if you want to go the extra mile, definitely do so. I applaud it. Next up, 3 Fresno chilies. If you don't like a lot of heat, you can always reduce these or remove them all together. Cut those diagonally, and I'm going to set those aside. And then I got some ginger here, which I'm going to dice up and set aside in a bowl. Next up, we've got a white onion. So this white onion, I'm going to cut it into eighths, okay? So go ahead and cut this into eighths. And again, I'm not too worried about consistency. I like a little bit of diversity in my vegetables here and how they're shaped, I guess. So I'm going to leave that there, just set it aside and start working with our oil, get that all hot, and add in our beef. Now, to my wok, I'm adding the beef in batches. I don't want to overcrowd it. I'm going to push the limits a little bit here, but I don't want to overcrowd it. And so you want to cook it in batches and then set it aside in a bowl. And we're going to reuse that oil soon, and you'll see why. So with that oil, we can see some of the browning in it from the beef. This is good. This is flavor in here, right? I'm going to go ahead and start adding in our onions. So adding in our white onions here, I'm going to saute these. And so once they start getting a little translucent, that's when we're going to add in our ginger. And by the way, 6 cloves of garlic, finely diced. I didn't mention it earlier, do apologize, but I like a lot of garlic and it adds that extra punch. So we're going to add that in too here. So we can see they're getting a little translucent, adding in our garlic and our ginger. There we go. And going to give that a good mix, and we're ready for the sauce soon.
All right, so we added our Fresno chilies and our green onions here to our pan. It's on medium, but I'm reducing it to medium to low just so it sweats a little bit. I don't want it too hot. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start adding in our onions, our garlic, and our ginger right there. Work that through. All right, let that start incorporating in there until it starts smelling really good. All right, now I'm gonna sprinkle in a little MSG, just about a teaspoon. Not too much. Don't be afraid of MSG, it actually is good for you, so they say. And a lot of black pepper here. I would say about 4 to 5 tablespoons of black pepper, but just enough to your liking. There we are. All right. Now I'm going to work in our sauce. This is 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, and then 3 tablespoons of regular soy. Mix that in. Taste it as you go to make sure it's where you want it. Everyone is different. For me, I want to reduce this as much as possible because I want to keep that juice down there. I want a nice sauce. I like a good sauce base with my Mongolian beef. I don't like it too dry. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in my beef and work all this through. If I pull this back, look at this. You see how that sauce comes back through? It's not too thick, not too runny. So what that means to me is I need a little bit more soy sauce. You can do beef broth if you want to do that. That's a safer bet. But I'm going to do a little bit more soy, maybe about a tablespoon, and that's it. All right, then I'm going to work it through a little bit more. And the reason being is I'm going to add a little bit of cornstarch that I've added to some water to make a slurry, just to thicken it up a little bit. So I've got my cornstarch and water here. I'm gonna mix it up. It's been sitting for a little bit, and I'm just gonna add a little bit. I don't want to add too much as I go because I want to make sure I can control how thick it is. That looks on point. I'll check it a little bit more. I can add just a little bit more of this slurry, incorporate it a little bit. Heat's going, still low to medium. There we go. Just a nice, gentle, not too quick, it's not too fast with this separation. All right, so the Mongolian beef is ready, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it. Smells super good, and mind you, I didn't add any sugar to this recipe. Personally, I don't like adding sugar to my recipes if I don't need to. I don't know, I kind of feel like it's a mask. You can't incorporate enough flavors, so you add sugar to it to help lift the recipe, but I could be wrong. So let me go ahead and try this. Get a little bit of rice, some of the beef. That's good. I'd like it a little bit spicier, but it's really smoky. It's got that nostalgic Chinese takeout feel with Mongolian beef. Not too sweet. It's very earthy. I love it. That's a good Mongolian beef. I love it. All right, so don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below with any recipes that you would recommend that I make. I'm all ears, and thank you for watching.